beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, hi, my name is Makaira, aka Kyra Lene, hence the YouTube name. And in this video, I do want to discuss generational curses within ourselves, our body, and in our communities. Now, I did do a rant on this video, so my next video will be about how you can take action to break these generational curses. So just stay tuned with that. Before I start, I do want to promote my jewelry business. The name is Elements of Divinity. The link will be in the description box below, so go shop. And also, I want to ask you guys, how's your day going? I hope you guys are taking the steps that you need to in order to make yourself happy, to fulfill yourself. Make sure that you check on yourself before you leave out for the day, or even if you're in your bed all day, break that habit and get up to do something at least. With all that being said, let's hop straight into this video. We have to break these generational curses from our family, from our bodies, and even our culture or our communities, our Black community, Hispanic communities, Asian, whatever race. We have to break these generational curses because we, the new generation, us, you and me, are the start of something great. I know most of us are experiencing health problems. Some of us are experiencing toxic household, and there's a lot of problems within our culture today to a point where it's just like it's not even noticeable. We don't recognize our true selves simply because this society we live in isn't true. Most of us are really blinded, and I don't want to come off as rude, but brainwashed to a point where we can't even see what visually take place in society, in our Black community, Hispanic, whatever race you are, or in our household, simply because we've adjusted to this. This is all we know, so this is all we're going to think is right. So, for example, if you go to somebody's house, say your friend's house, and they're experiencing abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, and you're just looking at it, but the other person, your friend, she's just looking at it as if it's normal because simply she was brought up into that household. She is learning that it's okay simply because she is looking at it and she is watching it and she is experiencing it. When in our perspective, we think this is wrong. Like, are you sure you're okay? Like, are you sure you don't want help? It's the same for you as well, because we can welcome people in our houses and then they can see things that is wrong with our households or whatever's going on in a situation and be like, are you sure you're okay? You can literally be so blindsided due to the fact that's all you know. So in order to learn new things, you have to unlearn all that you have been taught. You have to learn how to love yourself, how to have self-confidence, self-beliefs, because you are allowed to have your own beliefs within yourself. Just because your mom is Christian and she's pushing it up against you doesn't mean you have to be Christian. It's all about grounding yourself and finding your true self in order to break these generational curses and become the change that's needed in this world. And if you don't know what a toxic household, toxic people look like, there's psychology videos on YouTube, on social media in general, for you to understand, like, this action is not okay. This action is okay. This is how you're supposed to be treated by your parent. This is not. Now, I'm not saying it in a way as to parents should act the same way. It's just more so unhealthy and healthy habits to create a perfect being, because that's all parents are. Parents literally birth you, creating you to become a better version of themselves per se, or a simply mini version of themselves. And how they create the mini version of themselves is by teaching their kids things that they do, and it could be good or bad. For the bad side of it, teaching you to become a mini version of you. So say they have like little bad habits they do, like don't put the sharpened card up at Walmart. You're subconsciously teaching your children not to pay attention to like co-workers or treat them with like no respect, basically, because either way you go, it's going to happen. Like, for example, if your parents always tell you like, I didn't have to do this for you, y'all are ungrateful, okay, I understand if you're truly ungrateful, but if you feel like you're not, then this is a toxic situation, because simply if parents hold that against you or like try to make it seem like they didn't have to do their job, like they didn't have the choice to bring you in this world and actually take care of you, this is a toxic mindset, and it's training your mind to think like, oh, you're not worthy of certain things in life. And this is how mental illness is created, how you're being stuck in that generational trauma and in that generational curse. Now for me, I'm experiencing a toxic household, so for me, I'm a generational curse breaker, and I speak my mind on whatever I feel is right or wrong, and everybody just look at at that and pick at me, because I have a lot of siblings, so they just pick at me as if what I speak is just dumb and you're just so selfish, you don't like us, you hate us, da 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 da, when it's actually the complete opposite. It's just I'm doing whatever I need to do in order to heal this family, because as long as I keep healing myself, it's going to reflect around my surroundings, and if it don't, then they can't just simply see what I see, simply because my prescriptions for my glasses ain't meant for everybody's eyes. With breaking generational curses within your family, it's also helping the community and helping other people being inspired to do this as well, because I know this new generation are very aware of what's toxic and what's not, and parents or grandparents and auntie, uncles, cousins, even our generation probably won't think some of the actions that people take are toxic simply because they're in the toxic situation, living it. Like for me, whatever I live and whatever I feel is normal, because that's what I'm used to, that's what I'm intaking, so that's what I'm gonna feel is right. Now for other people, they're gonna feel, oh, your mom's yelling at you, that's not toxic, that's just discipline. Okay, I understand, but it's depending on what the person is saying and depending on how the child feels, because at the end of the day, we are all children maturing at a fast age due to the fact of the circumstances we are in, if that makes sense. That's a lot to put on children, especially if you have siblings, if you have younger siblings and you feel like you have to parent your younger siblings. That's a lot to put on you, because you need the same unconditional love as that younger sibling. You need the same attention as that younger sibling, and you need the same care and mental health. It can be as little as you not getting enough attention from your family because they work too much. I mean, I know circumstances are very, trust me, very understandable, simply because of the society we live in. We got to break those generational curses. I'm going to get into this later in the video. I know it's because the circumstances that we're in is going to be harder for us to crave that attention, so we just put it off of us and we just think, okay, this is normal, so we don't set those boundaries within ourselves that we need attention, but honestly we do. And it's just, I can get into it way deeper. Just from the situation of not getting enough attention in your household can go many ways. You can end up finding attention in all the wrong places. You can either think that you don't deserve attention, and you will block yourself from breaking these generational curses. You even watching this video already is a sign that you're on the journey of becoming the black sheep of your family and creating better future generations. Now, everything that I'm saying in this video and everything that I'm going to say is not factual. It's not completely proven, because first of all, the idea of wrong and right is all just perspectives. Even what you learn in school, it's just a perspective, because who came up with math? Oh, we're gonna trust them. So it's just depending on if you trust what I say or not, or if you resonate what I say or not. But I think what the root of toxicity from our households carries from generation after generation after generation from our ancestors to the point where slavery. Have y'all ever, I know y'all see all the TikToks, well, for like my people of my color, I know y'all be seeing those TikToks where it was a black boy and he said that urge to just stay still whenever I hear something like this. Like, say I hear something and I'm home alone and I just stay still. That could be a generational curse placed upon us whenever Harriet Tubman was like trying to lead the slaves out of the Underground Railroad. If you think about it, whenever you're hiding or you're doing something, you have to be really quiet to be aware of where you're hearing stuff from and if you're hearing stuff. So that can be an action that's carried on from generation to generation, and we're still struggling with that. That's the same from parents. So it started with our ancestors, right? Our ancestors going to treat the children how the masters or whatever treated the slaves. Then the slaves are going to raise these children. The children's going to think, oh, this is all we know. Then they're going to raise some more children. This is all we know. And that's how you create a generational curse. My place here today is to break my generational curses and break the generational curses within our black community, within our colored community, because not only black people experience generational problems, even Hispanics, all from the big men, y'all, if y'all know what I mean. Now, from this part of the video, I'm just going to discuss on black people, because that's what I grew up in. I'm fully black. I have a black family. I have black ancestors. I'm just black all around. So I'm going to speak in R. If you resonate with this, whether you're Hispanic, Asian, then that's good, and then you can resonate with it and you can learn like from it, because I know some Hispanics are experiencing the same things I'm experiencing as well. In the Black community itself, we have a lot of generational curses that's in need of being broken. First, let's just get off the first basis, because an educated Black woman or an educated Black male is portrayed as being whitewashed whenever Black people can be educated. Black people can have proper language. Whenever the idea of proper language, all they did was assimilate our accents, because we originally came from Africa, African American. The white people did the same thing what they did with the native people and assimilated our culture, assimilated our sweet Black accents to a point where now if we speak too loud or speak too different, we are ghetto, ratchet, or dumb. Everything that we do or that we're doing on the road to doing is all just to serve the big white men. Now, before I get deeper into this video, I'm not saying that all white people are bad. No, that is not what I want to portray. I don't know the certain percentage, but most minorities, or like some minorities, are impoverished. And of course, there are Black successful queens and kings breaking their generational curses, doing their own thing. But there are still hoods, and there are still gentrification, racism, all of these things placed on the Black culture, Hispanic culture, minorities in general. Why? Because racism is still in place, and us Black people simply can't be racist due to the fact we don't benefit from such a system. White people, the white male in general, are the most privileged people. They benefit from the system the most. With so many of us being impoverished, we developed the mind of chasing the American dream to not be impoverished, to become rich and enjoy the amazing aspects of riches, when honestly, that's them pushing you away from your consciousness, brainwashing you to become under their control, like how we already was in slavery. Capitalism is just modern day slavery. When we chase something, for example, a lot of people in the hood, I can speak for myself because I live in the hood, a lot of people in the hood want to rap and make it out by rapping, when honestly that might not even be their true desires in life, their true self-speaking. It's just the fact that society has pushed it to make it seem like Black people are only going to be rich and successful or wealthy whenever they're famous. That's why a lot of rappers are Black, because they had the potential to actually be a rapper and actually educate some of the people. Because if you think about it, rappers are rappers for a reason. Most of them are a reason to just distract us even more from our consciousness, but most of us felt people's stories. For example, Polo G, he came out of the hood and now he's rapping and doing his own thing, and a lot of people looked up to him, especially in the hood. Tupac, he was educating a lot of Black people about the system that we are created to just live upon in. Now with us being in the hood, all we hear is rap music, see Black movies. First of all, Black movies aren't even what white movies are. White movies show white excellence. Black movies, if you go to Africa, all they show is the parts of Africa that's undeveloped, which is also very rooted and beautiful, but still all that shows the developed part of Africa to keep us trapped here in America, to make it seem like, oh, you don't want to go there, you don't want to go to Mexico because they're poor. No, there's rich countries in Africa and Mexico, all of them. America is not the dream country that y'all see if y'all open your eyes to see it. We also have food and sex. Due to the fact of us having these factors, it drives our Black community more lower and lower in value. Not necessarily we're not valuable. Of course we're valuable. We are Black queens and kings. Never forget that, okay? Never forget that. But it's just making us follow the white man even more, especially with the social media thing. Everybody think they know their culture, but they don't know their culture. They're letting white people assimilate in like reverse. We're giving away our culture. We're allowing white people to have box braids, locks, dreads, whatever. We're assimilating our own culture slowly and watching this stuff in front of our eyes and thinking it's okay because that's what we're used to. Because they take, and whenever we want to take, it's us being stereotypical. Like how I said in my poem, it's not fair for us to steal some candy, but y'all white folks stole a whole country. Y'all steal our culture, y'all take our money, we're awake, we know right from wrong and have to fight for. I could say that, I could recite the whole poem because like I love, that's probably one of my most favorite poems that I wrote. But let me get back to what I was saying. They made it to a point where they just make our culture, ourselves, become so bad. And then people are so scared to embrace their true culture, their true self. Africans that's coming in from Africa can't even showcase their culture due to the looks they will give out in society. People are scared to lock up their hair, scared to get Bantu knots, scared to wear African clothes, scared to study African culture, African Christianity, scared to do whatever it is that connects us from our roots. And if you think about it, that's scary as hell. And then they push that narrative on TV. They have a black man with either a mixed woman or a white woman trying to push the narrative that black men will be more successful if they get with a mixed or white woman. And schools don't even teach us how to love ourselves. How can black people love themselves when we are only taught the things that they hated about us the most? They hate the fact that they're not even no longer in control of us. They hate the fact that we are interested in history and they're not even teaching us our full history. They're only teaching us the slavery. What happened to the greatness that happened before the slavery? They teach their white history all whenever God came. But where is black people? If God was so great, where is black people in that timeline? America is literally white America. That's what it should be called, because the way that these schools teach, all they teach is white teachings. Mathematics, science, history is the biggest one. We don't even learn black history, and we take 1 month to learn it, Black History Month in February, when it's honestly the shortest month of the year. So we're in school receiving assimilation, then we come back home to these generational curses that we're already experiencing in this household, making us more damaged on the inside and out. Then we go to turn on a black movie, for example, Friday, whatever, and then they're smoking, having sex. So guess what I'm gonna do as a child? Be interested in what they're doing. Why? Because they're on TV, they're successful. I'm seeing this, I'm witnessing this. This is all I know. This is how people get into drugs. People get into drugs to make money as well, to survive in the society. Tupac said it, the hey you give little infants, everybody. This is how people get into drug dealing. This is how the police get more excuses to kill more black people. And then in these black movies, people are having sex. As a child, you're going to intake whatever is around you. We see people having sex, we're thinking, oh, okay, that's cool. Now we have more babies in the black community, and more babies cause more money problems, more excuses for white people to call us out our names, to be racist towards us. All I want to say, it's not our fault. It's not our fault at all, but it is in our hands to change all of this. Besides the black movies, we also eat for entertainment. We have bloodlines worth of good food, but in the hood you can't get no healthy food. What you gonna do? How you gonna eat healthy off of some potato chips? We're eating America processed food to seek American money, to seek American health. They put all these processed foods. First of all, answer this, because this doesn't make sense to me. How are processed foods cheaper whenever there's more chemicals and stuff than organic food when it's just simply grown out of the ground? So they fill our corner stores up in that because it's most convenient for us. They fill our Walmarts, our cheapest place that we go to, Dollar Tree, whatever, making us more sicker, creating more generational problems, because you may not have known, but it's scientifically proven that food and anything else that we do, cigarettes, smoking, weed, alcohol, can affect our bloodline, our hormones, our genetics, all of that. That's probably why some of us have acne. For the people that have acne and just say, I can't get rid of it because it's genetics, because of the food that we eat. Now, besides food, black entertainment, smoking, sex, all of that, we have Christianity. We have so many churches up in the hood. I can name 5 that I see every day I come home from school. We have so many churches with a white God, a white person that's going to heal all of us. So we subconsciously tell ourselves that the white man have all the answers. COVID came, the government gave us money. That's subconsciously telling us to depend on the government. Oh my God. We learn in Christianity that the number 666 is the devil number, when 6 protons, 6 electrons, and 6 neutrons create melanin. So whenever we go outside and enjoy the sun and get darker, people say, oh, you getting darker as a bad thing. Well, honestly, no, we're creating this vitamin D that we don't get from milk. We just get breast cancer from milk. It's a mind control thing. This stuff can even show in colors. For example, white is associated with purity, God, white is such an elegant color. Then when you see somebody wearing black, they're like, oh, why are you sad? What's wrong with you? They associate funerals with the color black because they want people to think black is bad. Now, if I say I'm a black person, they're automatically thinking, oh, black is bad. This is how they train white people to be against us and for more racism. This is colorology. You're not going to see a bunch of people just go to a room full of white lights and have fun and get drunk every weekend. No, clubs have a whole bunch of LED lights with a lot of colors because a lot of colors are attractive to the mind. I'm going to rewind a little bit whenever I was saying how we are dependent on the government because they kept giving us checks during the COVID period. But honestly, we as in black people have always been dependent on the government, especially us in the hood. Us in the hood do need help due to the fact of white America because we're so pushed low that it's hard for us to get jobs. We gotta work harder than some white people. If I go into with a full degree in college that's the same as a white woman, she's more likely to get the job. But how they made us more dependent is giving us Medicare, money from the government to help us with our health, to become even more sicker, and they give us food stamps just to buy some more processed food for us to get sicker, for us to pay for this American health, when honestly we don't need Medicare and we don't I'm not going to say that it doesn't help, but all it's helping is us become dependent on the government. We can work our ass off, not in a way white American portrays us to, and get and afford healthy groceries, afford to be healthy. All I'm saying is all of this is promoted in our black community so much, so we can just learn it and teach this to our children that this is how we're supposed to be living. Like how I said in black movies, that's how we're supposed to be living. Of course, they're not going to show black greatness in movies because they don't want black people to think that black people can be great. All they're going to do is do that to the white folks so we can be like them or be under their control. The black community is strong and huge. If we all unite, then we will have a lot of power because we are undeniable, but they still deny us. Now that's why they consider us as minorities, to think that there is not a lot of us, to think if a black person speak up, there's not going to be a lot of riots, there's not going to be a lot of this because y'all are so little compared to us white folks. This belittle us, this makes us think we're smaller than we know. All of this is just depicting our greatness because they don't want us to know our greatness. They don't want us to know that we freed ourselves. Think about it, slaves was the biggest economical thing that they ever had. You think that would give that up? One day Abraham Lincoln or whoever freed the slaves just decided, you know what, maybe these people do deserve some freedom, I'm just gonna miss out on some money and that's okay. They did not do that. We freed ourselves. We voiced our opinions by Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, a lot of more people that I probably don't even know because I don't get taught my black history. They say Civil War wasn't even about slavery. It was just about economics, as if slavery wasn't the biggest profit that they had. We done a lot in slavery to a point whenever we got out of slavery, we decided to take a rest and become lazy. We don't want to become hard workers because we think that, oh, we don't need to work hard because we've been working hard for so long. But honestly, that's how they trick us even more because they teach us all the bad things. They teach us to think that we are not worthy of working hard and getting what we want out of this life because we should already have it. Honestly, we should already have it, but due to this society and this capitalism, it's not going to happen like that. We as black people, minorities, all people need to become aware of the generational curses that's held within their household, within your communities, within your bodies, within yourself. And whenever you do so, we can change this world slowly but surely. Now, I know I just went on a rant about black culture and black problems and minorities, but honestly, you have the power to change all of this. It's all in your hands. It's just all about you getting up and do it. Like Saba said, you just got to get off your ass like your ass is fake. You can't sit. Get up and break these generational curses because the world needs you. Do you see the society falling apart? Amazon just bought 70,000 acres on South Africa, a whole holy and sacred place, but our ancestors gonna fuck that shit. But either way, still, just think about it. We are creating change with our actions. We can either be the same people that our parents was, or we can create peace within our world, create justice for black people and minorities, create happiness, true happiness. Power is in our hands, and the power is in right now. We can make it out the hoods. We just have to shift our mindsets, not to what society is doing, but to our true desires and our true self. It's just about you healing yourself, finding your desires, finding your powers to change this world. And this is me encouraging you to step into that. Step into diving into yourself, diving into your mind, healing yourself, healing generational traumas, breaking out of your toxic household. No matter how much it takes, it's going to happen. You hold so much power. And if you don't think so, you need to change your mindset and to think that, because I know you do. So why don't you know that you do? Because of the things that you've been taught. You've been taught that you're powerless because your parent is the adult and you're the child, so you don't have any say, so your opinion is invalid. You are being belittled. Learn to teach yourself that you are valuable and you can change this world. Well, that's like if for the people who want to change the world, but changing yourself is also changing the world, if that makes sense. But you have the power. The power is in your hands. It's just all about you getting up to do it. So thank you. With all that being said, I do want to wrap up this video. I appreciate you for staying throughout this whole video. And if you did, drop like a green heart, since green is my favorite color, to let me know that you stayed throughout this whole video. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I love y'all. And don't forget to have a Don't forget to have a great day, okay? Peace.